live. I'm here, you're here, the Tulip team is here, so let's have some fun. Speaking of the Tulip team, in the studio I have teacher Carolyn, and I have Ricky, and Leanne is here. Out in Cyberland, we've got our usual suspects with Susie and Caledonia. Hello, ladies. And I'm teacher Michelle. So, if you got your email this week that talked about what the topic was, you are already informed. You know that we're talking about picnic fun, and specifically fruit and flowers. Yes, not only are we going to play with our food today, we're going to play with our flowers. So as we get started, make sure that if you are on your phone, you can turn it sideways and get the picture larger. If you don't want to see the comments, you can swipe them off to the side. And for those of you who are listening on Facebook and watching on YouTube, hello and hello. So today we're going to play with our food and our flowers, like I said. We are going to look at a couple different designs that might be appropriate for a picnic or a summer party. And if you've met me, you know I like food, so it seems kind of appropriate. We have all local product today. Had to do a quick double check as I said that. There might be two foliages that aren't local as in the Portland area, but everything else is for certain American grown and grown in our greater Tri-County area and a few things from the coast. These gorgeous hydrangeas here, the mophead hydrangeas, as well as the PG, are grown over on the Oregon coast where we have just this fabulous growing climate. The dahlias are local, even the craspedia are local. They came from a farmer down in the Salem area. If you've been to flower school before and you've gone on the field trip that we typically do on the last day of basic on Friday, you know when we talk about our middle market, which is all the local vendors. So I just went in there and had a feast for the eyes with all the amazing juicy fruit-themed colors I've got. And well, vegetables, because aubergine is a vegetable, but grape, we'll go with grape. How's that? Grape and kind of blueberry undertones and tangerines and lemon and lime and I don't know what a white fruit is. Anybody know a white fruit? Now that I say that, I don't think I do know one. But at any rate, lots of beautiful, beautiful product up here today. So I want to start out with using this watermelon as my vessel. Now I have prepared my foam already, and it is in just a little 4-inch pot liner, easy peasy. And I cleaned out the water. Oh wow, if y'all could smell this. If you like watermelon, this would be for you. But I took my extra foam cuttings as I trimmed my little third brick of foam and threw them in the bottom here. That just helps build up and give some support to that. Plus it adds a little weight in there. Now, could I have just designed directly into the watermelon? Sure, wouldn't be anything wrong with that. This design would be considered event flowers in the most case. So you're looking at them being beautiful and perfect for the duration of the event, the picnic, the dinner, the party, whatever it is. I just know, and I'm going to share, that if you can contain the moisture, i.e. your foam, and place your watermelon on a plate or a dish, something that separates it from your tabletop, it doesn't necessarily make it last longer, but it does help with the decomposition. You'd be surprised how quickly these break down. Pumpkins are a little sturdier perhaps than some of the other produce that we work with, but this just helps protect your surface area, your countertop, your tablecloth, and you can also use it to help set off your design as well. So I'm going to start poking some posies here. As I do that, do we have anybody joining us? Anybody special? Well, you're all special, so never mind. So who's joining us today?
We have a few logging in, and they're still logging in on YouTube. We have Christy, Leslie, Nicole, Carol, Robin, Linda, Tess, Heidi, and Sailor. And then Sophie's Flowers just said hello.
Well, excellent. Hello to all of you. And that's on, are you on YouTube?
I'm on
today?
YouTube.
You're on YouTube. Okay. How about you, Leanne? Are you on Facebook then?
Over here on Facebook, yes, we are busy. We've got Ann, Carl, Josh, who just signed up for the online distance learning course. So you'll be getting to see him in class.
Awesome.
Sherry, Rose, Jim, Wayne, Dana, Kathleen, Angela, Lila, Colette, and Pam. And they came up with 2 white fruits from you.
Oh,
or
good.
For you. Ann mentioned white flesh peaches.
Okay, good one. Did not think of that at all, obviously.
And then Jim said some honeydew are almost white.
Oh, you're right. I'm just not a big melon girl. That cantaloupe and watermelon, so good. I hadn't even thought. You tulips are so smart. I know all the orange ones. Go
Oh,
figure.
good.
Well, speaking of smart tulips, it's been kind of a busy week in the tulip team's email, as a lot of our members of the tulip bunch have been receiving the results of their PFDE exam that they took in Chicago a few weeks ago. So we just want to say a big congratulations to all of you who tested and achieved your CFD and your PFDE designations this year. It's a lot, and we know that, and we're just so proud of all of you. My messages were blowing up over the last 2 days, and it's like, oh, proud flower mama, y'all did so good. So just be super proud of the work that you put in, regardless of the outcome, because just by testing, just by going there, you've done more than a major percentage of our industry. So don't lose heart if you didn't get what you wanted, because what you did was still fantastic. So congratulations to all of you, definitely. Oh my gosh, I love these little fellas. So I want to tuck a little bit of foliage in, not a ton. See if I can get it to come out of the container. Now this is locally grown Floral. Some of you call it, those are huge, some of you call it lemon leaf, and it has nothing to do with lemons. They don't grow lemons, they don't have fruit that looks like lemons, but it has to do with the shape of the leaves. They do kind of look like the leaves that you would see on a lemon tree. So I'm going to add a few of these in just for a little bit of texture in what we're working with. Now the form, talk a little bit of flower school talk here. The form I'm working with is a round design, and I'm working with a central binding point, and obviously I'm in foam, you saw that. Teacher Carolyn and I have been going over the basic curriculum and the advanced, but right now we're focusing on the basic curriculum because we go back to school in 1 month and, what's today, the 2nd? 1 month and 9 days till September 11th is our first day of basic, the second to the last basic class of the year. But Teacher Carolyn and I have been going over the curriculum and looking at the recipes and making some tweaks. Leanne's like, hey, why don't you guys take a peek and do a little freshen, a little fluff and buff on those. So Carolyn's redesigned some of the pieces that she typically teaches, and I'm working on a couple of mine as well, because, just gonna bring it over, because we try to stay up to date with products and design styles and all that good stuff. And then we want to make sure that we're passing along all the latest techniques, trends, tips, mechanics, everything that we're learning, we like to pass along to our students so that you are up to date and informed and ready to go out and flower the world when you've completed your course studies. So if you've thought about taking basic, you have 1 month and 9 days to get registered for our in-person classes. We have 4 spots, 4 spots open?
3.
3 spots open, okay.
Yeah,
Just like that.
we had 2, but 1 transferred, and so we're now at 3.
Okay, awesome
Yay.
sauce, I love it. So if you've considered coming to Flower School, now is your chance. If you are interested in our online program, like Josh, right, that just signed up?
Joshua.
Yes, so Joshua is going to do the online program, which works for a lot of people. Now would be the time to sign up for that as well. Of course, you can, this is a spearminty. Oh, you wouldn't like it.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Does the online course start at the same time that the classroom course starts?
No, great question, Carolyn. The online course does not start at the same time. You can start the online whenever you want. You could start it in an hour. Not now, because we're all here and we're kind of busy at the moment.
If they want to start now, I'll switch.
Okay, if you want to start now, you can. Leanne will personally take care of you. So there's an offer right there. But our in-person classes, we offer 4 professional series a year. So 2 in the winter, so January, February, March, April section, and 2 in the fall, September and October. But the online courses, both the basic and the advanced, you can start those any dang time you'd like. You can look online, go to flowerschool.com, click on classes at the top, and it will take you to our full offering of online, whether it's full workshops, or full pro classes or workshops or what have you. All of it's there. If you go all the way at the bottom, you'll see something called syllabus. Check that out. We seriously cover a lot in our basic classes. Like what I'm making right now. This is just your classic round arrangement in a watermelon, which you probably won't do in class. Now, having said that, if you come in the fall, you will probably do one in a pumpkin instead of just your basic old container. So do check out the syllabus because it outlines everything that we teach in the course. And I always tell the students the first week of class, and I get a lot of eye rolls, and because I say it 3 times, we cover a lot in this course. We cover a lot in this course. And then I say it one more time, and really we're heard to the first 2 times, but on Friday morning, you know what everybody says? Oh my gosh, you cover a lot! And there's my soy sauce back, Ricky.
You know, as you're working on getting a drink, Andrea is here and says, "Hi, Michelle." And I just want to do a shout out to Andrea because she has a flower business and has made some aggressive changes that are going to be so much better for her business and for her personally. And so kudos, because it's hard to be brave. And I'm proud of you, Andrea.
Yes. Sorry for the throat tickle. I was telling Ricky when I ate lunch today, I aspirated the soy sauce with my sushi, so I've been coughing for about the last 2 hours, and apparently it's back.
Oh, and it got you. So drink more water, and you'll just talk from over here.
There we go. Well,
Yeah.
Andy, hi, hello. Glad that you popped on. And yes, to follow up on Leanne, absolutely. Kudos to you for doing not the easy thing, but the best thing. So looking forward to lots of amazing things out of that other new location that you have. All right, so adding in a few of these zinnias, which are just out of this world. I don't know how well the color will pick up on camera. And I'm red behind it, so that's not super exciting. But they have kind of a raspberry, viva magenta, green, a little bit of everything in them. There's a lot of depth to them. They're just ridiculously pretty, and I was having a hard time at market not buying all of the zinnias at the Central Market. Surely Anne was very happy that I did not do that, but it was quite a bit of a challenge.
Oh my gosh, that green color unifies
Yes, there's another teacher, another lesson word.
beautifully with the green of the watermelon.
Doesn't it?
That is
I
gorgeous.
just love these. So, fun fact about zinnias, they are native to the United States, to the southwestern United States, and you can find them on down into South America as well. They are supposedly pretty easy to grow. I have never had any luck with them, not one stinking bit of luck, and I love them. Carol and I were talking about, there's kind of a funny name for dahlias, for zinnias, that they're kind of the cheap stepsister to the dahlia, that they don't really quite get the same level of respect, even though they come in amazing colors and super long lasting, easy to grow, supposedly.
Laura says they're called Queen Lime Red Zinnias.
Queen Lime Red Zinnias. Okay, I love that.
Thank you for that. That's nice to know.
Yes. And then I have some celosia here. This is the plume variety. Find the camera there, which is kind of cool. Looks kind of like a flickering flame. It's in the amaranth family, which I didn't really think too much about, but it dries fairly well if you just hang them upside down so that gravity is helping you with the flower heads themselves. You can really extend the life of your flowers that you purchase if you've enjoyed them fresh, and then you're going to be able to enjoy them as a dried flower as well.
So Sherry says they grow and sell a lot of zinnias. They find that it's actually one of the easiest ones for them to grow.
And that's what I heard, and my flower farmer florist friend, Linda, who's going to be here again in a couple weeks. She just tells me I must have a black thumb because children can grow them. Could be. So maybe I'm just trying too hard. That could be part of it. But I just love them. I love all the mixes, all the colors. They're just a happy little thing. Bob Ross there, happy little accident.
Tess would like to know when you're going to bring the glitter.
Tess, I love you. No glitter today. No, there's no glitter in the drawer. No glitter today. Although glitter wouldn't these be fun glittered? Maybe later. Maybe later we'll glitter those. Jim, if you're watching today, I'm certain you're thrilled that there will be no glitter harmed in the making of wine today.
Yes, Jim is here and Dennis is here. He is just going to be here for a little bit though because he's attending a floral convention with his company.
Oh!
So that sounds fun.
Where are you, Dennis?
That I don't remember.
Don't know.
So Dennis, where are you?
Yeah.
Then we've got Anise, Lori, Suzanne, Dylan, Donna, C, Cindy, and Kathy all over here too. You've got a full house on
Well,
Facebook.
good. Glad you guys are all taking the time to join us today. So we're talking about flowers that you could do for a picnic or a party, a summer party, obviously, since everything I'm working with is seasonal and happening right now. What's your favorite time of year to host a party? Are you a summer backyard barbecue kind of person? Or are you a winter Christmas, winter holiday, fall Thanksgiving pumpkin kind of person? I don't know. I kind of like any reason for a party personally, but you know, that's me. So type in there. Tell me what your favorite holiday is to celebrate with food and flowers. Oh, the stems are just so
What
tiny.
are those cutie little floaty flowers that you're
These
putting
cutie
in?
little floaty flowers are Allium, and they're in the garlic family. And I keep fighting with this one. I tell the students in class, don't fight with your flowers, just let them do what they want to do, and then what do I do? I try not to fight with them. but I wanted him to do what I wanted him to do. So yeah, Allium, they're in the garlic family. These are, I would say they're a drumstick allium. That's usually that smaller variety, but these are even smaller than I'm used to seeing in the small variety. But they just have these wonderful, let me find a different one here. There we go. They have these wonderful long straight stems that are really pretty sturdy. I mean, there's a lot of, if you're a fly fisherman, there's a lot of movement in that, which adds a lot of fun movement in the arrangement as well, because the stem isn't taking up a whole lot of space, and it's letting you get a little more, I don't know, a little more height, a little more volume out of things. Extension would be the proper word, although I tend to call them pokey outies. Carolyn calls them dancers, I call them pokey outies.
Such professional language for
Yes.
everyone.
Oh, you should have heard what we said while you were gone. You missed all the good stuff. Yeah, I like the alliums. They're mostly in the purples and the blues. And you can get some white as well, but they just add a lot of fun movement and texture to things.
So cute.
It's all very cute. I just kind of want to put them all in now that we've been talking about them. All the allium. Some people don't like to work with them because they feel they have kind of a garlicky scent to them. I don't notice that. I like garlic, so maybe it doesn't offend me like it does other people. But for me, it's outweighed by how dang cute they are. So we'll put a few more little bouncy bits in there. All right.
Well, so far for our party people, we've got 3 votes for winter Christmas,
Okay.
Thanksgiving. Monica loves fall football and tailgate parties.
Monica, you're my spirit animal.
And Roxanne says anytime for a party.
Anytime for a party, absolutely, absolutely. Well, today, obviously, we're focusing on kind of that summer theme, and I tried to stick with, citrusy, fruity type things to play with. What I have here is a pair of cylinder vases, just your run-of-the-mill, utility cylinder vases. One is a little narrower, I don't know if you can see it right here, smaller circumference, and it's nested inside the larger one. And he's floating up a little bit, but not much. And then I took, sometimes they're called cuties, that's a brand name, but clementines or tangerines, depends on what they are or as to what they call them, but just that small, really delicious little mandarin orangey fella, and then just sliced it. Oh, they're probably half an inch thick, half to a quarter, and use that to line between the 2 cylinders in the container. And then I topped it off with water, so they are in water. And then on the inside, I'll just add my regular old water that has flower food in it. And I can do just a vase design with the fruit. Now, fun thing to do with a design like this, where the fruit with citrus especially, so lemons, limes, grapefruits, oranges, when you slice them. If this were going to be an evening party, I could drop one of those submersible LED tea lights into the bottom before I started designing. And then at night, I'm gonna have this cool glow where the flowers are glowing and you're getting some of that orange or green or lemon, whatever that color is, coming through as you have the light shining through.
Oh my gosh, that's almost as good as glitter.
It is almost as good as glitter. It's almost as good as glitter. You are correct, Leanne. Now, if you did something like that and you put them in before you started designing, you would absolutely want to make sure that you had the variety of the tea lights that you can operate with the remote, because then you could turn them on, plop it in, turn it off. And especially if you were doing that for a large event, Then, when you got to the event and all of your tea lights are in their vessels and they're submerged, you just walk around and click them, as opposed to trying to fish them out, lift the flowers, fish the light out, or drop the light in. It's so much easier that way. So much easier.
So while you're working on that,
Uh-huh.
message to Carolyn, so we'll go from one side of the room to the other side of the room.
Yes.
Kathy says, thank you for helping her with her gardenia questions.
Oh.
So, thank
You're
you,
welcome,
Carolyn.
Kathy.
Awesome.
And then over here on Facebook, when you asked about parties,
Uh-huh.
we're heavy to the autumn and winter. We've got fall and winter, Thanksgiving, Halloween, and Christmas, with just 2 for summer, which is kind of interesting. So everybody's looking at the later years. So you know
Okay.
what? They better get done with their flower school studies so that they can be designing for all these winter parties.
Well, obviously, yeah, if you guys are all into the fall, you need to hurry up and get graduated so you can get out there and start. All right, I'm kind of surprised by that, actually. I kind of figured more people would be, summer focused. You gotta be outside, do something different. But maybe we'll have to have some new fall and Christmas
No, we'll
lives where we can do some fun things.
Put it on the list.
Put it on the list, that's right. We're always looking for ideas, folks. So I'm just using these PG hydrangeas here to give me a little bit of a base to work with. He's a little bit of a monster, and this one was a little bit of a monster, and I wasn't going to use him, but I think I will.
Oh, he definitely needs to go to the party.
He definitely needs to go to a party, yes. He's a party. He looks like a party waiting to happen. So these PG hydrangeas, I believe this variety is Limelight. So it has a very pale yellow-green color to the bracts. It is a phenomenal dried flower. Quite often you'll see strawberry shortcake as a variety that has kind of a pinky rosy tinge to it, and it dries really well also. With the hydrangeas, I'd be inclined to just put them in a vessel of water and just leave them alone. Just let them drink the water and dry out naturally. They don't really need a lot of babysitting, which is kind of cool. Oh my goodness. So I have, look at these, aren't these gorgeous? These are local, these are from our local rose grower here in the Portland area. This particular orange is called Naranja, which I believe, somebody correct me who speaks Spanish, I believe that is orange in Spanish, so that they didn't get very creative on that name, but it is almost glow in the dark. I don't know if it translates that much on camera, but in the studio with the lights, they almost look safety orange, if you know what I mean. Like you've got safety yellow, or which isn't fluorescent yellow or fluorescent orange. Safety orange is a little brighter, but I just couldn't pass them up. And these gorgeous garden roses, and I don't know the variety. This came from one of the fun little stalls in the local market area, and they just had an assortment of multiple stems of these garden roses, and they smell like heaven, like raspberries. They smell like raspberries. And then, of course, because I couldn't resist, more zinnias that apparently are easy to grow. They're my nemesis, and it's like a 4-year-old can grow them, but Michelle can't, so there's that.
So Ronaldo, Rick, and Scott have joined you. And
Oh,
Rick
very good.
likes the citrus and fruity. He thinks that's pretty great.
Awesome.
And I just checked. No one has signed up for me to go take care of them.
Oh, okay. So that means none of you have jumped online to sign up for an online class, so you can give Leanne something to do this afternoon, people. She's just gonna get done with live and go home and put her feet up and eat bonbons on the sofa. That's what she tells us she does, but we know better than that. So, yeah, that's too funny.
Just so you know.
Just so you know. So again, I'm just working in a round form. Cut that little fellow a little too short there. Bad teacher, Michelle. And I'm working in water, which is really great. makes for a nice long-lasting arrangement. But quite often it can be challenging to do a vase arrangement when you're first starting because you lose a lot of control. So if you come to class, or rather when you come to class, we help you with that. We teach you the proper way to put things together, to give you that structure and that support, so that when you go to create a design, you know it's going to be technically correct and things should stay where you put them. She says, she tucks them in. I'm not sure I'm going to use any foliage in this one. What do you guys think? I'm thinking I'm just going to stick with the little PG hydrangeas as my mechanics to hold things in place.
So Sherry came in and said that Naranja definitely is orange in Spanish.
Okay, good.
And Rick said that garden variety is known as pretty.
Gee, thanks, Rick. Wouldn't have come up with that one on my own. Oh, you tulips. Not only are you smart, you're funny too. We like that. Tulips, speaking of tulips and classes, you guys who are in class have been super busy. We've sent over 10 certificates out in the last week. That's basic class certificates going out, that's advanced class certificates going out, and FDI certified. So those folks that get the 2 certificates when they complete advanced, get their advanced certificate of completion for the course, and they also get their FDI certified certificate and that groovy little gold pin right there. That's what tells people that you have invested in yourself and invested in school, and you have a very extensive baseline of knowledge. Because why? Because we cover a lot in class. That's why. All right, one more because I can, because they're orange. And you'll notice I'm not wearing a black tank top today or shirt, because I got kind of a giggle out of this. When I was at Symposium, I had 3 different people who stopped me and said, "Oh my gosh, you own other colors besides black, Teacher Michelle." And it's like, oh, yeah, I do. But I guess I only wear black on camera. So today I have on red. And Jim, it does match my nail polish, just for you, okay? Because I know you would notice that. All right, so I've got my orange slices in here. I've got my orange roses. I'm gonna pop in these cute little peach zinnia folk in here, just to give some repetition of form, which helps me with my what? Those of you who have been to flower school, what does repetition of form help with? Should I give them another clue, Carolyn, or should I just see if they know?
I think let's see if
See if they know?
Yeah.
I have no answers yet on my side.
So type it in when you know.
And then Moni wants to know if that's a double container, so you might just want to address that again.
Yes, Moni, this is a double container. So on the outside that you can see, it's just a standard glass cylinder. And then inside, I have another narrower, roughly same height glass cylinder inside. So there's an outside and an inside. And then between them, I have fed the slices of oranges and then filled that up with water so they stay hydrated and they look nice. And then in that inner cylinder, I filled it up with water. That's what's going to give the flowers something to drink during our big fancy summer party. I called this arrangement. Carolyn was laughing when she was looking at my notes as I was prepping. She's like, "Oh, that's cute." I dubbed this one creamsicle because it's orange.
Oh.
Because I name everything. All of our cars are named. Well, our pets are named, but our cars are named. Our house is named, I name everything. If you slow down, I'm either gonna put glitter on you, or name you, or poof. So,
Well, I have a question over here on YouTube. It's not-
sure.
It has nothing to do with what you're doing.
Okay.
It's for you and Leanne.
Okay.
What are your thoughts about clients who do not believe they need a florist for a wedding? A bride wants to do her own flowers, DIY their own flowers.
Leanne, would you like to start?
You know, I have zero problems with a DIY bride or groom or couple. I only have a problem with them if they want you to do their work for no money. So I think if there's a DIY bride, God bless them, go do it, stay out of your way. Because there's plenty of people for you to do. So, and I think a lot of people start being DIY and then discover that it's a lot harder than they want, and then ultimately end up paying more than they would have because they become last minute people, and maybe don't get exactly what they wanted because of that. And others, they get exactly what they wanted with the DIY. So I think it's just the way it is.
Yeah, I would agree with you 100% there. I personally don't have a problem with somebody who wants to DIY it, but I do try to give them a feel for what their 4 to 10 days leading up to their wedding will look like. And if it is in fact the bride and her mother planning on doing the wedding, I just tell them how it is, what the reality is going to be. It is not Instagram, it's more like Hell's Kitchen. And yeah, you know, if it works for you, great. I wouldn't trust myself to my flowers. Now, having said that, I did my own flowers. But I'm also a professional florist. I'm not a banker that's then trying to decide I'm gonna do my own flowers. So, I guess you could go either way with it.
Scott had a helpful hint that he typed in here, that if your two vessels have more space between, you can always cut your fruit thicker.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, LOL, I learned that the hard way, and it was such a duh moment.
Yeah, that is an excellent point, and just to dovetail off Scott's comment there, with these two containers I had, Carolyn was a doll this morning when we were putzing around with flowers. She's like, I know it, I have two, I've seen them, they'll fit perfectly. And there's about 1/4 of an inch of space between the two. So it was fortunate that I went with the clementine or the tangerine or the, can't think of the other name for these. But
Baby oranges?
baby oranges, the cute little fella. Because they're smaller, I didn't have to worry about bending them into the space. If I'd gone with a standard navel orange, which is kind of softball sized anymore, trying to cut them thin enough to get them to fit and fill the curvature of the container could have been a bit of a challenge. So that's something to keep in mind. The smaller cuties, tangerine sized ones are excellent for centerpiece type sized arrangements like what I'm doing here. If I were doing a larger or a larger diameter or a taller as well as larger pair of containers, I might opt for that larger standard navel orange or grapefruit or a blood orange. Oh, how pretty would a blood orange be in here?
That would be gorgeous.
Be amazing.
Do the blood oranges and then pop in some of the celosia to pull that color of the orange. Okay, I just drooled a little bit because that just sounds so pretty. Yeah, just like playing with our food and our flowers today. Never get enough of that. All right, just a few of these little flippity-floppity garden roses in there. And it's warm in the studio and they are really starting to open up, which is fabulous. I love that. Let me nestle him right up here into the top. Now, I'm sure some of you are going to say, oh my gosh, how are these going to handle being in the cooler together? Because, you're not supposed to have fruit and flowers together. Yep, I know that. But for the duration of the event, it's really not going to be that much of an issue. He feels a little tall, but I kind of dig him poking out. What do you guys think? Queen Anne's lace or maybe some of the millet?
I'm looking over at the solid aster over there. That could be pretty.
Oh.
Go with the yellow.
That wasn't one of the choices.
Carolyn's always coloring outside the lines. Sheesh.
Well, while you're digging around for things and making your choices, and I'm just gonna throw this last out and then we'll step away from it. And we may have to schedule another live stream that's wedding focused. But after that DIY question, some people are having troubles in their towns. And another one suggested offering some sort of workshop to DIY brides so that you're helping to teach them. And that brought to mind our mutual friend Jody, who had a flower shop that when people wanted to do it themselves, she would say, well, why don't you come in and I'll just show you a quick lesson. And she'd make it look so hard that they immediately would default and hire her to do their wedding. And I loved that.
There is that, yes. There are multiple camps on that DIY thing. Some folks are in the camp of, well, if I show them how to do it, then I've just taught them how to do what I do and I'm become unnecessary. Well, not necessarily. Just as Leanne pointed out, we make it look easy sometimes, Yeah, this is just a round arrangement, but sometimes getting a nice symmetrical round is a heck of a lot harder than it seems. And we can make it look easy, but we can also make it look hard. And it is hard on occasion. So, I don't know. That would be a good one to have, Leanne. Just another DIY or not kind of.
Yeah, I think we're gonna need to do that one.
You guys are good. This is nice. You're helping us come up with some of our upcoming topics for lives, which is fantastic. Sometimes we run out of ideas ourselves around here.
Okay, I was wrong. The millet is cool.
Millet is cool. Well, I think the solid aster would have worked too, but I don't know. I'm digging.
I kind of liked it with the leaves, especially.
It's like little corn, right? I feel like I'm in Nebraska or something with corn.
Then the question is, what do you think about designing with tulips in this type of an arrangement?
Oh, absolutely. Tulips would be fantastic. Tulips and fruit look very, very spring-like, very fresh. We just didn't have any tulips on our local market offerings today. Didn't have anything that was a spring-looking flower, really. So I didn't get it. But yes, absolutely. Any of your bulb flowers would be totally appropriate in a design like this. Just because I think citrus looks fresh, it feels like a fresh design, addition, fresh texture and things.
Now that you said corn, I'm envisioning corn on the cob with your picnic. And
there you go. Yep, we're back to food. We are a hungry bunch. We floral folk here. We're also a fun bunch. I don't know if any of you saw Leanne's post from, was that 2 weeks ago? That we went next door?
Oh, yeah, it's been 2 weeks now. We gotta do that again.
Yes. So, yes, we went to the business that's next door to us. So if you come to Flower School, it's the one on the corner that's a little on the noisy side. It's an axe throwing business. And we went after work, 4 of us. Sorry, shoes are on, had to do a head count there. The 4 of us. Seemed like more, we're noisy enough for more than 4. But the 4 of us went, and we went axe throwing for the first time, except for Ricky. Ricky was a ringer. She's done it before. And let me just say, you want Ricky as your friend. She's really good. So,
she's on my team.
Yeah, she's on Leanne's team. She was amazing. Carolyn and I were kind of entertainment, I think. But it was fun.
I think we each got a bullseye.
We each got, or at least within the center ring. So yeah, I mean, it wasn't a total failure. And honestly, who cares? We had so much fun. We were laughing so hard. And it's quite the workout, in fact, more so than I was anticipating it would be. Okay, I think I'm done. I kind of like him. We're gonna move the creamsicle off to the side.
Okay, I was wanting to take the watermelon home, and now I'm really liking that creamsicle.
The creamsicle?
I just have to take them all home.
Now we're gonna have a pina colada, because we're gonna have a tropical party. Or a Mai Tai. I guess you can put a Mai Tai in a pineapple, but at any rate. Pineapples, typically we see them done for luau type parties, summertime parties, but honestly, this is like nature's best vessel. Same with the watermelon. It is a watermelon. It is a melon full of water. So it is self-contained. It's gonna hold the moisture in. The pineapple, we're kind of in the same spot. You know, they've got a nice solid base on them. Again, if you were going to be placing this on a tablecloth, and if you're going to have it for a few days after the party, just do yourself a favor and protect the surface underneath. But golly, they're super easy. You know, just a big old knife to top the, take the top off the, let's call it a pumpkin, off the pineapple, not the pumpkin. That's in a few months. Then it gives you the top portion, right? So just chop that off. And then what I used, because pineapple are delicious, right? So why not take advantage of that? I used a pineapple slicer corer, and it just fits on the top of your pineapple, and then you just twist around and around and around, and it goes down in and basically makes a curly fry out of the guts of the pineapple, and you pull it up out, and it would bring up the core, would core the middle of the pineapple, and give you those beautiful rings just like
That's
you
the
buy.
coolest thing ever.
Have you ever seen a pineapple core?
No.
Yeah, they're
Okay,
fantastic.
David, you've been holding out on me. We need one of those.
Sorry, David. It's fantastic. It works so well, and I had dry fit my foam earlier to make sure it would fit, but it gives you just this beautiful hollowed out container. Now, I'm not going to line this. Again, you absolutely could put a garbage bag in and then put your foam in to give yourself a water barrier if you were concerned about that. I didn't get a big pineapple. This is a moderately sized pineapple. If I'd gotten one just a tad bigger, I could have fit a cylinder vase inside, which would give me a nice watertight option as well. But I'm just gonna poke some foam in here and design right into that. Any of the options are fine. Just depends on what you want to accomplish with your finished design. How long does it need to last? Are you gonna leave it out? Should have brought a bigger knife in the studio. That's great. Good enough. I do want it fairly flat if I can achieve that. Now's when I need that big chef's knife or a Ginsu knife in here. That'll work. Because I could do like I did with the pumpkin or watermelon. I have pumpkin on the brain. What is up with that? So like I did with this one, and do a round arrangement in it. And by the way, I called this one Watermelon Crawl for all my country friends out there. And I could do the same thing here. I could just do a round arrangement, or I could mimic the shape of the top of the pineapple, except I just used the millet in the other arrangement, so I can't do that, right? But why couldn't I just put that back on and use that as the top of my design, and then add my flowers in around the center portion? I don't know. Let's try it. So I have some bamboo skewers here, and I'm just going to skewer through the top in 3 places, and they kind of just blend into the top of the pineapple. And then I'll clip them off, and take just the tip of my clippers and push them down just ever so much more into the top. And then you really can't see it because of the little, I don't know what they're called, the little horns on the sides of the pineapples. They just blend in with that. Make a massage out. There we go. And the pineapple smell, the watermelon smelled good, but this smells amazing. Do you guys have pineapple recipes? Do you have a favorite recipe that you use a pineapple as an ingredient? I would love to know. I like to cook, I like to bake.
Well, a lot of them have seen that pineapple twister thinger that I've never heard of. I am so jealous. They all have one. I am the reject on
You're the one that is new to
Well, I don't have one either. I need to go shopping.
They say Amazon for less than $15.
Oh yeah, it's inexpensive. And if you find the one that has the kit with 3 in it, I would do that. This is the medium size, and then there's a small and a large, which if I'd had a large one, I could have gotten a larger pineapple. But yeah, because this, it's just in case you wanted to know. It's a Runco ad. The top part just pops off, and then you would attach it to a different size coring tool.
Isn't that clever?
It is. Isn't that a clever cleaver? Yes. I amazingly use it quite a bit. We apparently eat a lot of pineapple at our house.
Oh my goodness. Well, they're saying pineapple casserole and pineapple fried rice so far.
Ooh.
Pineapple casserole? What is that evil? Sounds good.
And then the concern is, will the pineapple juice hurt your flowers?
No, I don't think so. Not for the amount of time that it's going to be exposed to it. Keep in mind, these are event flowers. This is for your summer party, your summer picnic or whatever. So as with any event, they're not supposed to last 15 days or 12 days. They're supposed to look good for the duration of the event. So for me, it really wouldn't be an issue at that point. Should have gone with the taller phone, Carolyn. I'm gonna fill it
I
with
know.
these. Who'd have thunk? Well, we're just gonna pimp it out with flowers. How's that, guys? Just add all the flowers to it because we can. So these are local dahlias. And if you're a dahlia grower, or not necessarily a commercial dahlia grower, but you're somebody who grows dahlias in your yard, you always get the ones that are like, oh, it's so pretty, but it's not quite perfect, or it's missing some of the petals on one side, or those dang earwigs that always seem to get into dahlias have gotten to them. This would be a great way to use those that are just a little less than perfect, because I'm going to treat them kind of how I would treat the hydrangeas in the creamsicle one, the peachy hydrangea, as kind of my base. It's just going to give me that base of color to hide my foam. Get in there, please. Thank you. And I can still insert, not through them, but around them and over them, and kind of layer my materials. So I'm basically looking for the ones that aren't perfect, which is a little atypical for us as floral designers. We always want the bestest, most perfectest blossoms. And in this case, I don't really care, because I'm going to feed stuff in and around and over.
I didn't see that.
In and around and over them. I'm sure his stem was weak or broken. That's why he came off.
He just decided he didn't want to go to the party.
He did not want to go to the party. Carolyn is so correct.
Well, we're getting lots of food over here.
Oh, good! What have we got?
We have roast ham and pineapple. We have a chicken, pineapple, cream cheese ball with crackers. Frozen pineapple is a healthy dessert, and I would sprinkle that with tahini and chamoy.
Ooh, or lean powder?
Yes.
Oh,
Then we have homemade pineapple sherbet, which I would also sprinkle with tahini and chamoy.
Okay.
Oh, let's see what else. Oh, and then I would do pineapple on my pizza.
I don't have a problem with pineapple in my pizza. I know there are some purists that are just clutching their pearls right now that I said that, but Canadian bacon and pineapple, it's fine. I'm fine with that. And since we're talking about food, and I've named everything, anybody guess what I've named this one? Type it in there if you have a guess. Give you a minute.
Okay, while they're typing, I'll tell you the food over here on Facebook is trending too. We have pineapple stuffing, sweet and sour with pineapple, grilled pineapple and dusted with cinnamon, kebabs with ham and pineapple, pineapple salsa, and pineapple upside down cake.
That was waiting for that.
Mango pineapple salsa.
Mango pineapple salsa.
Goodness. Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys a hint. Anybody typed in a possible answer to what I've named this one?
I have not seen, pineapple meringue, but I think that's back to recipes.
Recipes? Okay. So I'll give you a quick hint. If you go to Disneyland, you can get one. Don't all type at once.
Then while we're waiting for that, Stephanie says pineapple with coconut milk and any alcohol.
I had a really hard time not just making a Mai Tai in this when I was putting the container, and I thought, yeah, that would probably make it my very last live ever. So, didn't do that.
Well, Monica is the first one over here on YouTube that guessed the name.
Did she guess it? Okay.
She did guess the
Very
name.
good. Well, Monica, good job. I named this the Dole Whip design. Wait for it, because it's made with pineapple, right? So if you've ever been to Disneyland, you can get a Dole Whip. So it's kind of like I don't even know how to describe it except delicious. It's a frothy, icy, delicious-y, pineapple-y thing. And FYI, supposedly you can get them at Costco pre-done as like a refrigerated treat, frozen treat thing. I have not found them yet, but I did see that the other day in a comment on a thread on Facebook, and I'm going to Costco on my own tonight to see if they have any of them there. All right.
Josh came up with Dole Whip, and then Mary recommended a pineapple martini.
Ooh, well that would be interesting. I guess that'd be kind of lemon droppy. That would work. I hadn't really thought about pineapple. Well, obviously I have some pineapple to play with tonight since I have the guts. All right, so as I finish this little guy up, I have these beautiful, again, glow-in-the-dark roses. These are called Tara, T-A-R-A, and they are just a super bright, lemony yellow, which is, and of course I picked one that has the beat-up petals. Who groomed these flowers today? That would be me. Sorry, guys. So this bright lemon yellow on these roses is a really nice contrast to the orangey yellow of the centers on those straw flowers. Now, I almost picked up Shasta daisies, and then I saw these straw flowers and thought, oh dang, these are just too cute. They're already halfway preserved as they are, so why not just work with those? And it's not like, Shasta daisies aren't fabulous. I just thought these spoke to me. And I liked the different texture of the white with the texture of the dahlias. Did anybody answer my question earlier about repetition of form?
No.
Yes, I had it over here, but I couldn't remember the question, but I have answers.
Okay, all right. It's like a joke. I got the punchline, but I don't remember the joke.
Yeah, but they all said rhythm.
Yes, absolutely, it is rhythm.
I just didn't know what they were answering rhythm to.
Yes, so repetition of form speaks to rhythm in an arrangement. So I'm enhancing the rhythm in my design by using these repeating circular forms. Adjust him out a little bit. And then, of course, for me, my favorite little flower, the piece de resistance, is the cressbedia. because they're just so dang fun, that's why. So I'm gonna tuck a few of those crossetia in there. Oh, another little rose.
You know, the yellow looks so fabulous. It makes the pineapple look yellower.
Does it look more
looks
yellow?
fabulous on camera.
Oh, good. I'm kind of blinded in here by the,
Yeah, you can't see what we get to see.
I cannot, no. So hopefully, y'all will tell me if my phone was showing. That I know. That I know. And these are local craspedia. Is that not the cutest little thing ever? So I'm gonna tuck a few of these in. As I do that, I just wanna say thank you all for joining us today. I hope you had a fun hour with us, with me. I've had a fun hour. I always have a fun hour with you guys. But hopefully next week you come back and have a fun hour with Leanne. She'll be your host next week for an hour of fun and flowers and designing. So as you head into your weekend and the rest of your week, have a wonderful time. Play with your food, play with your flowers, and go do something you love. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.